mistake in choosing who to say I do to, 'cause I guess I don't. I guess I don't. I guess I don't.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We were supposed to get married today.
I couldn't resist this Black Marriage Monday. Little Madison McFerrin. She says she guess she don't. And we're being joined by Dr. Gloria Morrow. She's a clinical psychologist. She is director of behavioral health for Unicare Community Health Center. Her nickname is Dr. Gloria. And she manages the behavioral health department of 13 clinics. Also has a small clinical practice that focuses on pastoral leaders, their families, and those in the entertainment industry. Good morning, Dr. Gloria.
Good morning. Good morning.
It seems like it's been far too long, even though I know you have been at clutch for us sometimes while I'm off on vacation or out of town. You've stepped in, and I want to thank you for that. Really appreciate it.
Oh, it's my honor.
So we do Messy Mondays, second to the last Monday of the month, and Black Marriage Monday, the last Monday of the month, because I just don't want to forget to talk about personal relationships and building them and getting our skills together. Even those of us who are not married anymore may be hoping for a long-term successful relationship or even a second, third, or fourth marriage. But there's things that we can do to improve our chances of success, right, Dr. Morrow, Dr. Gloria?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
So let's talk about what
so
some of those are.
Yeah. So I think one of the first things that we have to think about with our marital relationships is good communication, establishing trust, and being forgiving.
Okie dokie. Well, I mean, each one of those could be a whole show, right? So let's start with the hardest one first, which is being forgiving. Are you talking about forgiving like, oh, you cheated on me, I forgive you, let's move on? Or are you talking about forgiveness like you chew too loud, you smack when you eat, I can't stand the way you wear your hat, the little things that can get on our nerves in the context of a relationship?
Yeah, I think it's the little things. Even if people do decide to forgive one another for cheating or exhibiting other harmful behaviors, it can work for those who are really repentant and sorry that they've done those things and they're making amends, getting the help, doing what they need to do. So I don't want to discount that as something couples can forgive in order to move forward. But
Right.
it's those little bitty gnawing things.
Yes, which actually can really undermine the quality of a relationship, right?
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
so here's my question, because I kind of think, and maybe I'm wrong, but if little things like that get on your nerves so much, does that mean you really don't like the person that much? Does that mean you don't love them? Like if I can't stand the way you chew, or I get the icks because you smack your lips or whatever it is, you sit cross-legged in a goofy way, does that mean I don't like you enough to begin with?
Well, I think you probably were smacking your lips before you got married.
Right.
And chewing a certain way. So you probably saw some of these things and you did not respond to them at that time. Because now I'm lumping everything together. So it's not just that you're smacking your lips or chewing your food in a certain way. It's the other underlying stuff that I don't like about you, or I'm angry with you, and I just let those things blow up as a big issue.
Oh, okay. So it's like when I have that patina of love, when I have the heart eyes going and I'm falling in love with you or getting ready to marry you, it doesn't bug me as much because there's not all this other stuff. The other stuff makes it seem like a
Yeah.
bigger deal that, you burp and don't cover your mouth or whatever it is.
Right. But you bring up a very good point. Sometimes people are marrying people they are not a good match with. They just want to get married.
Mm-hmm.
So they sort of ignore some of the red flags and ignore some of the things that they don't like because they become more enamored with the idea of getting married.
Yeah, I think a lot of people want a wedding more than a marriage. That's what I believe.
Absolutely.
It's
I
like,
do
ha ha
too.
ha, I'll show you. Somebody gave me a ring and I got a white dress and a big
Yeah.
cake.
And I'm on social media and I'm letting everybody know I'm getting married and it's exciting, but I don't think that they do the work. In fact, I'm excited about a project I'm working on called Don't Date, Investigate. And the
Don't date, investigate. Wow. What does that mean,
but it's
Dr.
different.
Gloria?
Right. So, when we hear that, it implies that we're talking about the other person. But you have to investigate yourself.
Uh,
What do I like? What is it I don't like? What are my non-negotiables? Those are things that I need to investigate in myself before I can move forward. I also need to know who I am and what I'm supposed to be doing. Because if I marry and then find that out later, I wake up and look at this person and say, why in the dickens did I do that? you know. So I think we have to do a complete self-investigation before we decide to marry someone.
yeah, that's a new twist. Investigate yourself. I mean, it shouldn't be a new twist, but it kind of is. I remember
Yeah.
many, many years ago when I was on my honeymoon, I was ear hustling, listening to this other a young couple who had gotten married, and they were talking about things that I really feel like you should talk about before you say I do. How many kids do you want? Do you want kids? Your
Oh my goodness.
philosophy about money, and I'm thinking, wow, this is
Wow.
this probably won't last.
It was backwards. It was
Yeah.
backwards.
But you're
And
saying
in
even
fact,
if you
I don't
don't know
even
what
do
the other
marriage
person
counseling.
wants, you don't do marriage counseling, you say?
I don't do no, I don't do premarital counseling
Ah,
when people have a date
mm-hmm.
and they have decided to do it because once they have a date, nothing is going to deter them.
Oh, I see what
Because
you're
in that
saying.
premarital counseling, we're going to talk about the finances, the goals, the health issues, the money stuff. We're going to talk about all that because if you talk about that going in, then you can make a clear decision about whether or not this is going to be the right match for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when we're in love and stuff, we don't think about that. But I was just going to say that it, we should know that we have to know what our deal breakers are and what we want. But I think a lot of
Yeah,
those times, the lists that we make and the investigation that we do is only focused on what the other person is going to give to us or bring to us, rather than what we are trying to um, live in, for ourselves.
absolutely.
Who we are. It's more focused only on them.
Right. Absolutely. There's a beautiful thing about knowing who you are and what you need in your life, what you want in your life before you line up with someone else. Because if you wait, once you do figure it out, like I said, you're going to wake up and say, oh my goodness, what did I just do? Because this person
I
is
shouldn't
going to
laugh.
be the catalyst for your distress.
The catalyst for your distress is nasty work, Doc. But when I think about what I see on Instagram. It's always 6 feet tall, six figures. Um,
Mhm.
you know, it's pretty much everyone. It's like everyone has the same needs and wants. I want somebody tall and rich, and I can't remember what else. devoted to me.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say no kids.
Buying gifts, traveling, just the epitome of what we consider to be happiness. But then what about that day to day, and what happens when that person gets sick or when something happens and they can no longer do what they're doing?
Yeah, right. The in sickness and in health part. For richer or poorer part. Is that what you're talking about, Doc?
Yeah, that part.
I think it's hard for folks to focus on that because people get out of marriages. I'm not trying to be judgy, or maybe I am, but if you're thinking of it as disposable, then what does it matter what the vows say?
Right. Right. And people are very tentative today. It's kind of like it works out great. If it doesn't, oh, well, we just move on to something else. But you're still carrying yourself into that next relationship.
Right. So you could just be having another rerun of what you just went through. Molly Bell wants to know, where were you 3 marriages ago? She needed to talk to you 3 marriages ago. Hey, you'll be ready
to talk to myself too.
You'll be ready for number 4, Molly Bell. That's what I know. Dr. Gloria is with me, 800-920-1580. If you have a question or conversation about the marriage you're in or the one that you're trying to manifest, all that is straight ahead. We're building families. We're building skills. We're building love. That's what we do around here. Well, it's one of the things we do on KBLA Talk 1580.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out.
Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out.
Going down in a real strange.
Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
Want to extend that barbershop shave at home? Try Gillette Skin Guard, designed specifically for men who battle shaving irritation. With this irritation defense bar, 2 comfort blades, and a touch of aloe, it helps avoid shaving bumps and irritation, leaving me looking my best. I find it perfect for when I need a clean, fresh look, especially between barber visits. Tailored for black men, it's easy to use and offers the comfort my skin deserves. Stay confident between cuts with Gillette Skin Guard.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up Oscar!
The following is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways with the purpose of soliciting sales of vacation ownership. For complete details, please visit fvgradio.com. If you want a 100% complimentary stay at a luxury resort in Cancun, airfare not included, then Family Vacation Getaways is your ticket to paradise. See website for complete details. We're giving away 5 days and 4 nights to the first 50 callers who can name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. An animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. Do you know it? Call now, 800-868-6431, 800-868-6431. You're also eligible for an exciting bonus vacation to Orlando, Florida for just $498. And don't worry about anything ruining your plans. We can extend your travel up to 18 months. Name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird, and get a complimentary Cancun resort stay and an optional bonus vacation to Orlando for just $498. What are you waiting for? Call 800-868-6431, 800-868-6431, and give us your answer. The proceeding is not a contest and is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways and not sponsored by this program or its affiliates.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, Dr. Gloria is my guest. It's a Black Marriage Monday, and man, there's a lot to cover here. Miles brought up that we have different standards for different ethnic groups, I guess, Miles. You're saying that you think, we're talking about black women and, you know, in general, these social media posts. I need 6 feet, 6 figures. I don't know. I don't know. It's a little song. I don't have it memorized because I don't have those same requirements. But, Miles, you think we expect more from black men than we expect from others?
Yeah, I was having a combo over the weekend when a brother was saying that, you know, he's observing that the standard for the man you'll accept is a lot lower if it's a man outside of being a black man. So when it becomes a black man standard, you require a lot more from him to be, you know, valued enough to have some of your time, as opposed to somebody else's value maybe a little higher just because they're not a black man.
But, you know, my response to that, Miles, is I think it's just the opposite. I think that black women in particular will, you know, be fine with the $70,000 or $80,000 a year earning black man, or $50,000, or just have a job. And with when they date outside their race, the expectation is he soft life wife. What's your thought, Dr. Gloria?
Well, I've seen both of those. I've seen where the black man is held to a higher standard because of socialization. That woman may have been taught that if you get married, you need to marry somebody with something. And then especially today with more professional women, some of them are thinking that, you know, they need to have someone, you know, who is at their standard, because if not, they think they'll have problems relating to them, or the guy may be jealous because they make more money. But then I see the complete opposite of that, as you're saying, Dominique, is that people are wanting to be in a relationship and they want to be with black men, and sometimes they may not make as much, and they just want to make sure that they can bring something to the table. So I've seen both scenarios.
Okay. I guess my friend group is more in the latter category. And, you know, I guess the question then is, do you see any correlation in success? Because I don't know that just getting someone with resources is the answer. I don't know that that is the path toward happiness.
Yeah, I don't think that should be the standard, the complete standard. Although I do think that when you go into a relationship, both parties should be able to contribute 100%, whatever that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if the person makes 40,000 and you make 60, that you put those together so that you have 100. So I think it's 100, 100. But what I do think can happen in a relationship, if the woman is making more money, sometimes the guy really may feel bad about the fact that he doesn't make as much money, or he doesn't have the same level of education, or whatever that is. And then that can create problems, even if she's okay with it. And then the other can be true, too, where she's saying, I need him to produce because, you know, I want to live this lavish lifestyle, and this person has to be able to, you know, do those things for me that I see my sorority sisters or I see other women doing. And then she puts that kind of pressure on the guy, and he gives into it, you know, in the beginning, but he just can't sustain that. So then that disrupts that relationship.
So what are the solutions to either of those two scenarios that you just laid out? Because you're talking about pre-marriage counseling and helping people figure stuff out around finance, and this can be applicable whether you're married or just in a long-term relationship.
Yes. Well, the strategy is for people to be open and honest about it. So whatever you're willing to accept, you know, be willing to accept that. If you say that I am fine with the fact that he makes less or she makes more, we're okay with this. We're going to put our money together. We're going to do whatever. We're going to have a prenup or whatever you're going to do. As long as you agree to it, And then once you get into the marriage, don't make that your everyday slandering of one another, because it's not what you want it to be when you agree to it. So
Yeah.
it's about making agreements that you can live with. And if you can't, be honest. This just may not be the relationship that you need to be in, because obviously you want something else.
Pretty Brown Mimi 726. We are talking about long-term relationships and marriage. It's a Black Marriage Monday, and Dr. Gloria Morrow is with us. So you said don't date, investigate. You want us to investigate ourselves and figure ourselves out before we foist our foibles on others. Trust was one of the three things you laid out. I have had a
Yes.
person ask me to trust them, and then if you do, you're considered stupid by your girlfriends and by society. And if you don't, it seems like there's this kind of loop of mistrust, suspicion, and undermining that doesn't help a relationship. So what's the sweet spot?
Well, the sweet spot is to give everyone an opportunity, and you work to build trust. Trust does not just happen. You know, just because you and I have gone on 6 dates and you showed up on time every time, that does not necessitate that enduring kind of trust that we need to sustain a marital relationship. So trust is built, and trust is earned. So if, you're in a relationship, be honest. And, sometimes people think, well, does that have to do with an affair or them not being honest about looking at somebody? No, it's the little things that we were talking about earlier. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you're upset because I said something, don't say, I'm fine, because you're not.
Right.
And your body language says it. Your, facial expression says it. You've withdrawn from me. So if you're upset, say that. Speak it. Because when you do that, that builds trust. And I can trust that you're going to be honest with me. And that's one of the big things that I work with couples on in their relationships. They're dishonest. They're upset with each other. They don't want to say they are. You're spending money that you agreed not to spend. I'm sorry, ladies. You had to have that next pair of shoes, but you had an agreement with your spouse that you're going to save money, that you're not going to buy anything for 30 days. But you just had to get something. So that dismantles trust.
Yeah. So you're talking about building trust brick by brick and block by block. So if I say I need you to trust me, then the answer to that is you have to build that.
Build it. Yeah, you've got to demonstrate those things that build trust. Because just telling me I don't take just your word. I need to see it in action.
Right. So we don't start with a clean slate then. We start with what?
Well, we start with the possibility for a clean slate, but we have to build it. So, and what I'm saying by that is, I've done my work so that I'm not judging you based on every other man I've ever been with who disappointed me.
Right, that baggage.
Yeah, so if you bring baggage into a relationship, you're not going to trust anybody.
Right.
So if you do your work, you are able to forgive that person whether they earned it or not, or whether they were repentant or not. You're not putting them back into your bosom, but you're forgiving them. You're saying they're a mere mortal, they messed up. Okay. So I want to be in a relationship, so I need to understand that trust develops over time and is built. But I will tell you something. A dishonest person has an integrity issue, and that person is going to be dishonest. So when you catch it, don't ignore it. It's a red flag.
Oh, so many follow-up questions. It's almost time for news, traffic, and sports. I'll throw them out there. If you all got questions, 800-920-1580 or conversation, or you need some consultation, let's do it. These are questions you can address when we come forward, Doc. Are red flags overrated? Are we obsessing too much on red flags? When you say a dishonest person has an integrity problem, how do we know that it's serious? When you say that we need to investigate ourselves, what are most of us missing? I think it's hard to be really honest in disclosing ourselves to ourselves because we want to be somebody better than who we actually are. And what are the things that we should offer to our partner to gain their trust in a real way? That's just a few of the things we can talk about on a Black Marriage Monday. KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. 11 people are recovering after they were stabbed at random at a Traverse City, Michigan Walmart store on Saturday. A black man, Derek Perry, held the man at gunpoint until police arrived.
Multiple citizens, including one who was armed with a pistol, were confronting the male suspect in the parking lot, preventing him from harming further people.
Grand Traverse County Sheriff Michael Shea says wife 42-year-old Bradford James Gilley was arrested and is facing charges of terrorism and 11 counts of attempted murder. Black 7-year-old Samaria Farley of St. Paul, Minnesota is slowly waking from a coma after being hit by a car. Her family says signs of recovery bring hope after the crash left her with serious brain and spinal injuries. The driver stayed at the scene and was later released. And today is National Buffalo Soldiers Day, honoring the first African-American Army regiments formed in 1866. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Is this the time? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers lost another close game in Boston on Sunday. They went down 4-3. The Dodgers scored only 5 runs over their last 2 games against the Red Sox. They hope to get their offense back in order tonight in Cincinnati. The Angels beat Seattle 4-1. Mike Trout's 2-run homer gave him 1,000 RBIs during his 15-year career with the Angels. It was a special day Sunday for Japanese baseball fans. Ichiro Suzuki is the first Japanese-born player to be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Suzuki was among 5 players inducted in ceremonies in Cooperstown, New York. The right fielder played 14 of his 19 seasons with Seattle. Suzuki, a 10-time All-Star, won 2 batting titles, 10 Gold Gloves, and had 3,089 hits. Suzuki still holds the Major League record for most hits in a season. He had 262 in 2004. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we aim to foster enlightening, sustainable, restorative dialogue, and we welcome unapologetically progressive viewpoints that empower fellow citizens. We are now accepting submissions for KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorials like this one.
With the KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorial, I'm Martin Gordon, chair of the Pasadena Community Coalition. Recently, I listened to a Tavis Smiley show conversation with James Farr. James said something that caught me off guard. Black Altadena is gone. My community is being murdered. I said murdered.
All you have to do is go to our website homepage at KBLA1580.com and click on the icon that says KBLA Guest Editorials to learn more about our editorial standards and content submission guidelines. As long as the topic aligns with our mission, we are happy to review your submission and consider it for broadcast. We can't make any promises, but we want to amplify progressive perspectives that are community-focused and solution-oriented. So, go to KBLA1580.com right now to download all the information you need about our guest editorials. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate loses and love wins.
How do you mend when your world's apart? Ooh, carry on. Ooh, from the start. Somehow we fell in love, then fell right out of touch. And ooh, that was hard. But ooh, here we are. And it's easier to walk away than to look for what would make you stay. Remember when we first met? We were having so much fun. So now how could we both forget? Telling each other we're the one. We would make love at the drop of a hat. Remember that? Yeah. I remember you and me, close as any two can be. Now we're strangers in the night, awkward and uptight. Oh baby, do you wanna make it better? Do you wanna stay together? Hey, if you do, then let's please make some new memories.
KBLA. I love that song so much. Let's make some new memories. Anderson Paak. Dr. Gloria Morrow is with me, affectionately known as Dr. Gloria. Do you agree with them? Let's please make some new memories. Yes.
I agree. I think that's the crucible of a healthy relationship.
Yeah. Don't get stuck.
You got to make new memories. Don't get stuck.
Stuck in the bad, stuck in the good. Quit throwing that thing back in my face, whatever it was.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that song so much because he just says, come on, do you want to make it better or not? Or do you just want to stay stuck and jacked up and keep hating each other and being awkward? Make a decision.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
Red flags have become a thing on the internet. There's memes about red flags and all these influencers influencing us about our flags. Is that overdone, or is it actually something that could be helpful in evaluating a relationship or marriage?
Well, I think two things can be true at the same time. that red flags can be useful. They can help us to kind of identify some of that harmful behavior early so that we aren't blindsided. So if a person is controlling or manipulating or dishonest, you can kind of catch that early. It also helps us to talk about concerns, because if we don't have anything to think about as it relates to things we aren't happy about, we'll never be able to talk things out or be able to say, this person really isn't the right one. And I'm talking about those people who have not gotten married yet.
Mm.
And then it kind of helps protect us from repeating some of the past patterns that we've had. We've been in toxic relationships before, and we were blindsided then, and we're blindsided now because we don't pay attention.
To avoid the
but
rerun.
It also helps us. Yes, yes. And then it helps us set healthy boundaries. We need to be able to set boundaries in our marital relationships. But if we are coming into a relationship and we're not healthy, sometimes we can confuse some of those, I call them minor quirks. We can confuse that with the person being a bad person, because if the person doesn't like Bob Marley, that doesn't mean that is a red flag. It's a difference.
We can make anything into a red flag. What about, speaking of don't date, investigate, what about red flags on us? Like, do I see my own red flags, Dominique is not that patient. Is that a red flag? And what do I do about it if I see that in myself?
But that's the purpose of investigating ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And we do have to be, like the movie says, we have to be big little girls, big little boys. We have to say, you know what? I need to look at myself. I'm getting feedback. I've been in 2 or 3 serious relationships. I've been married 2 or 3 times. And I have always blamed the other person. I have not looked at myself. And so I keep dragging me into a relationship. So I think we have to be willing to honestly look at ourselves. None of us can ever say we're going to be perfect.
Yeah.
So I should be willing to do the feedback with myself that says, Gloria, you may be lacking in the area of patience. And then do the work.
Right, and then do the work. Yep. I mean, meditation helps, let me tell you. Kwamel says, I just learn what they want and what they're looking for because women seem more threatened by men sharing what they want and will quickly shut down. Wow. I'm sorry to hear that, Kwamel, because I want to know what you want.
I am too.
Yeah.
Yes. That made me feel sad.
Do you think that, well, I mean, that's his experience, but if we are doing that, how do we stop doing it?
Well, we'll never stop doing it if men don't speak up and speak their truth. And a lot of times, men have learned by watching their fathers engage with their mothers. A happy wife is a happy life. So they've learned you just suck it up. You don't say anything because if you do, it's going to be an argument. And ladies, when we tell men, tell me, talk to me, and then the minute he does, you just blow up and go insane.
Yeah.
So he can't handle all that. Men can't handle what we can handle in that area. So when we do that, then the man shuts down. They're wired differently. Remember, men are wired to fix problems. And they're not wired to do all that processing that we do. So if we tell him to be honest and tell me how you really feel, and then he does it, and then I blow up and I make a big deal out of this for months to come, guess what? He is never going to do it again.
Problem fixed.
Shut down.
Problem fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, that's one of the catalysts also for good guys stepping out on their marital relationships.
Wow.
Because they feel like, I can't talk to this person. I can't talk about how I really feel, but I can talk to Susie at work,
right,
at the water cooler about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they develop an intimate relationship that can turn into something else when it was never meant for that or intended for that outcome. But it's an open door. And I'm not blaming women when there is an affair because he has to take responsibility for that behavior. But we have to understand what can happen with good guys.
Yeah, when we shut down. Because I have heard that before from men that we don't listen.
Yeah, yeah. And we break our word because we say, tell me anything. You can tell me anything. And then when they do, we just lose our mind.
We punish them.
We punish them, and they have to hear it until they go to their grave.
That's really sad.
Which may be premature. Yeah. But it's what I deal with when I'm working with couples sometimes. You know, the grievance has been carried on for years.
Yeah.
You can't let it go.
And it poisons the relationship, I believe. And sometimes I think that's why some of us hold our tongue, like, okay, I'm not going to address this thing that's bothering me, or I'm not going to bring this up because I don't want to start a fight.
Yep.
And that's not good either, right?
That is not good. I think timing is important. Sometimes we want to talk about things when the time isn't right. There should be timing in a relationship. Dominique, you know, if you've been on the radio early in the morning and then worked all day doing other things, and then you come home and somebody wants to talk to you about an issue. Okay.
Yeah.
We need to ask permission. Is this a good time for us to talk? And if not, when is a good time? Because we do need to talk.
Right.
And that gives respect, that allows for people to be more prepared mentally for that conversation. And it respects the other person.
Yeah.
And the outcome is always better.
Pretty Brown says, I love it when a man communicates his feelings, his wants, his desires, but I get it. Some women don't know how to receive that. Like Jack Nicholson said, you can't handle the truth.
Right.
B. Bell says, I've been in a relationship going on 2 years, and we're making it a point to talk about everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, before we take the plunge. And I agree. I mean, maybe I can't handle the truth, but I would rather hear it, because then I feel safe. I feel safe even if you tell me crazy things, because I think this man will tell me. Whether I like it or not, he'll tell me, and that puts me in a position to be able to make an informed decision about something.
And it also allows you to begin to trust him.
Yeah.
Because if he's telling you how he really feels, that's another factor in developing and building trust. Because I know that this guy is going to tell me the truth. I may not like it. I may not want to hear it. But he is going to be truthful and honest with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's very important.
I heard one man, I can't remember who it was, say that wives don't listen, but hoes listen. Hoes are good listeners.
Oh, my God.
Well, I mean, a word to the wives. That's all I'm saying.
Well, but to that person, what they have to understand, that other person, which I will not repeat, that other figure does not have the full story.
Fair enough.
They're just getting what you want to share. They're not getting the full picture.
They're not living with you every day. Got it.
They're not living with you every day.
Talking with Dr. Gloria, you're invited in 800-920-1580. It's Black Marriage Monday on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least like to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at QuinnEmanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
It's never too early to start talking about money in realistic ways with your kids. JP Morgan Chase navigates how to educate your kids now about creating long-lasting, healthy money habits. Whether your kids are in elementary school, high school, or college, now is a great time to start a conversation about ways to create healthy money habits as they grow, ultimately benefiting their financial future. Talking about money in a realistic way to support your kids' lifestyle and dreams, your first banking account geared towards high school or college. It's never too early. Explaining the basics, what you earn and what you spend, building financial confidence starts with getting organized. Learning and practicing vital money skills now will stay with them for life. Tools they will have to stay on top of their finances and achieve their goals. This segment is sponsored by JP Morgan Chase.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
Dr. Gloria Morrow, a.k.a. Dr. Gloria, is with us, and you're really active on Facebook. I know a lot of folks love to read your writings. Tell us how to track all the many, many things that you are doing.
Well, you can just go to Gloria Morrow on Facebook and Instagram. And I would love to hear from you if you have some questions. I definitely do respond. I'm getting ready to do a weekly Facebook Live again. I was doing it and took a break. It was exhausting. But I'm being asked to do something because I'm trying to lean into doing a podcast. So just be looking out for some great things on the horizon.
You could also go buy her books. Too Broken to Be Fixed, A Spiritual Guide to Inner Healing, Strengthening the Ties That Bind, A Guide to a Healthy Marriage, Keeping It Real, 7 Steps Toward a Healthier You. She's got some help for you. Let's go to Dwight, calling us from the city of Compton. Good morning, Dwight.
Good morning, Dominique. Good morning, Dr. Gloria. I just wanted to ask you, Dr. Gloria, do you think there's some myth like a man's nature is to fix things and a woman's nature is to talk about things? So if the men, when we're interacting with our lady and she's blowing up about something, we automatically want to fix her. Maybe we should just not say anything, let her get it out of her system, which is maybe that's all she wants to do, and then see if this something, is this a test or is this something that I need to fix? Because sometimes we like to fix stuff, I know. And so women like to test to see a man's love. Sometimes they like to almost like start little arguments, and you show me that your love is real by the argument. So maybe sometimes the men need to maybe just start a little argument with our lady, let it get it out of the
Lord,
system.
no, don't do that.
A little argument, Dominique, not a big one, because otherwise we're going to take it serious. When you tell us about something, we're ready to fix it, and you might not even want us to fix it. You just want us to listen to what you're saying to get it off.
Well, let me give you some language.
Okay, hold on, Dwight. Right. Let's hear what Dr. Gloria has to say about
it. I'm gonna let me help you. Thank you so much. So what you want to do, and you're absolutely correct. You're going to try to fix it. She just wants to talk and get stuff out. So let her get that out, and then you ask her this question: how can I help you?
Good.
You just ask her.
Yeah.
Now, how can I help?
Because
rather
she might
than
not
you
want my
jumping
help.
in, she may not want
Ready
your
to
help.
fix something,
She may have wanted you to listen. She just wants you to
Right.
listen. Yeah. So
How
just
can I
ask her,
help? Very simple.
How can I help you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get in my fixing mode. I'm just going to listen. I'm going to wait.
I mean, but this whole thing about being tested, I feel like not a lot at the time, but sometimes we're going, is this a test? Does he really mean this?
Yeah.
And does she really mean this? And should we be testing each other like that?
Well, no, we should not. And again, that's about trust. And you asked earlier about, what should we offer to our partner to earn their trust?
Yes.
Please know that sometimes these grand gestures, testing, and all that stuff, it has nothing to do with trust. Trust has to do with consistent, respectful behavior over time. It is built, and so we have to be consistent, follow through, be somebody that your partner can rely on.
Yeah.
And that requires honest communication, emotional safety. Sometimes people have had a lot of trauma in their lives, so it's hard for them to trust. So try to be patient with them as they're going through their process. But never should we test anyone. We should be patient with one another. And this is especially to those who have already said, I do. Now, those of you who have not, then you can start doing some investigation before you get married. But now that you're already there, be consistent with each other. Be the person who is trustworthy. And then it will help to build the trust that is needed. So you're not having to test folks or, try to find out whether or not this person really loves me or not.
Ah, yeah. Well, we got at least 2 or 3 part 2 shows that are coming out of this conversation. But what about communication? This should be a whole show. But I mean, what are some of the things we could look to do better for a more constructive communication style?
Yeah, we need to learn how to really listen. When your partner is speaking to you, sometimes we're conjuring up our argument. So you're not listening. You just want to defend yourself. If you are a good communicator, you're going to listen to everything that person says, so much so until you can repeat it back to them. If we're going to communicate, it requires being willing to engage in active listening.
Does that mean literally repeating back? So what I'm hearing you say is that if we're going to really communicate, we need to engage in active listening like that?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So the other person knows that you heard them, because you know how it goes. When one person says something, the other one can hardly wait until the person finishes that last word so they can jump in there and defend themselves.
Right.
And that's a horrible communication style.
And then sometimes we twist each other's words and say a thing that we know the other person didn't mean, or maybe we really do misconstrue it.
You didn't listen.
Yeah.
You already formed your opinion about what they said, so that's why you misinterpret what they said. Oh, that drives me insane when I'm talking to somebody and trying to share my feelings, and then they take it and go to Egypt with it. That's because you didn't listen.
Yeah.
You were trying to defend yourself.
Yeah, it's a pet peeve of mine with interviewers, too. I think half the viewers on TV, you could say, so then I killed someone and buried them under the headboard, under the floorboards, and they would just ask their next question. They wouldn't even say, oh, so you murdered someone? They'd be like,
here.
So how long have you been living in Memphis? Like, what? They're not listening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, we just got 60 seconds here. Time flies when you're on the radio. Dr. Gloria, what would you like to leave us with?
I want to tell you that marriage can be beautiful, but love has to mature. Trust has to build. And you have to be patient with one another. on this journey. Don't be a part of a statistic because you don't have the patience to endure. But also, if you're in an unhealthy relationship where there's violence and other stuff going on, don't believe that you have to be in a situation like that. But work on building good communication, trust, hope, love, and keep making those memories.
Yes, if you do, then let's please make some new memories. Dr. Gloria Morrow, thank you so much. It's always great to talk with you.
Oh, it's my honor. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And you know what's next, y'all? It's Tavis Smiley with his Monday Powerhouse show. He always comes out the gate swinging on a Monday, so it'll be a great, great show ahead. Don't forget to tap in with me on social media. I'm at DiPrima Radio, DiPrima, and then radio on every platform, even TikTok now. And, of course, KBLA 1580 on all platforms. We're on YouTube. We're on TikTok. We're everywhere. Please like, follow, subscribe, talk smack. Together, we are definitely stronger. Like my mother, San Francisco poet laureate, the late, great Diane DiPrima used to say, history is now. Like I always say, we're making it together. Until tomorrow, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. 11 people are recovering after they were stabbed at random at a Traverse City, Michigan Walmart store on Saturday. A black man, Derek Perry, held the man at gunpoint until police arrived.
Multiple citizens, including